Jayvon's a little...
I gotta put my headphones on, as Ray would say.
Put my headphones.
Gotta accept the pain. Need a cigarette to make me feel better. Every good thing comes my way.
Okay, we're trying again.
Okay.
You didn't start it?
No, I said you just start the podcast.
Okay, hi. Jayvon's had a rough morning. Welcome to Coming Out Creatives.
Cock. That's all I have.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Jayvon. The energy is going to get better, I promise, but I just
We had a lot of technical difficulties. We've been in here since 11. It's 1:30, and we're doing this essentially for the first time right now. It's going to be okay.
Yay! It's fine. Okay. Yeah, Coming Out Creatives, our podcast. We do whatever the hell we want. You just listen, join. Thanks for being here.
It's going to be okay. We're gonna talk about something we really liked to try to get the vibe back.
The boy back.
Okay,
You didn't hear yourself? The boy back.
The boy back.
Oi, oi, oi.
Ozzy.
Here, nerd. Nerd here.
Piper, no.
Piper, no.
Tsunami. That was our ASMR segment.
Buddhism. Okay. Yeah. Much better. I have to pee, but I'm just going to ignore it because...
Ignore it. This is Lizzo's world tour.
Ew. Who? Lizzo? I want to okay.
Isn't that what it is? She didn't let a dancer pee or something, and then she peed herself. I thought that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "We're done."
I'm done. I want to like her again so bad because I do like her music.
I just hate the whole. Just because I'm a celebrity doesn't mean I have power and influence.
Not even just that. Because a lot of people I feel like have been doing that a lot lately, going back wishy-washy, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
but
true.
I don't know. Just, there's people who just get too cocky and you're like, okay, let's come back down to earth.
She also called Chris Brown her favorite person, so.
Yeah. I did know about that, and I don't know. I just ignore anything Chris Brown, and it's also wild that he was able to take himself out of jail and still continue his tour. Regardless, we're going to talk about happier things because these hoes got me down.
So we're going to talk about overcompensating.
Yay!
What?
Oh, no, don't want that.
Oh.
I was trying to do a sound effect. It didn't work.
No big deal.
Oh, do it again.
What?
Say what we're talking about.
We're talking about overcompensating.
That's enough of that. Okay. I needed something to cheer me. Good show.
Yeah.
Great. Phenomenal. Kudos to Benny. Kudos to Charlie in the music direction. Kudos to Holmes. Emmy nomination needed stat. Emmy win needed stat.
I know that anybody on Hacks watched Overcompensating and were like, fuck.
Yeah.
She ate them up.
Yeah. Well, I think Holmes can definitely win a supporting character one because I haven't seen Hacks, so I don't know. Because the two main are going to probably go for the main character, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I guess Ava and Deborah are both
the main character, right?
But Hacks, it's just everything is so good, too. It's just it's written for the Emmys, it feels like. So it's just funny because that. I mean, Holmes, I really got 2 lines an episode?
Yeah.
And she's the star of the show.
Every single time. Pisses me off.
Piss me off. That's so real though. Like that moment where someone awkwardly is like, and then they kill themselves. You're like, no. Because you're like,
I don't know. The writing, I don't know if the jokes, like, if Holmes came up with the jokes or if, like, other writers, like, you know, I don't.
Yeah, because she's a comedian, right?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that is all them.
Yeah.
And non-binary, remember? In real life, but in the show.
Okay. But when we're saying Holmes, we should say they.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Respect.
So sorry.
No.
So sorry.
It's okay.
We are obsessed
with Holmes.
With Holmes.
Yeah. Not Sherlock. Period.
Oh.
No, I know.
He said I'm a rapper. I got my bars.
No, but literally the line delivery, the comedic timing. It's both.
That is like the woman that society is afraid of, that character.
Yeah.
Because they're a loyal as fuck friend, embraces their sexuality, deeply intelligent and self-aware.
Yeah.
And hilarious.
Of course.
And has her hobbies.
Yes.
God. Wait, what's my favorite one? What were you just thinking? What was just making you laugh? I want to know if it's the same.
Okay, let's get it out of the way.
Okay,
How did my ass ate? I didn't like it. It felt like wet butt.
Ass ate us. I don't know. I'm not an English major. So good. My favorite one is the flight attendant where she's like, we don't got what you're selling. So good.
Or the one is my name is Haley Marie something. It's or for short.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
So good.
Or when she is pretending right in that man, and she's like, and she's like, you see, it's so, just remember that, how easy it is to make it.
I love when, like a show is about something kind of serious and there's like really a struggle between the main 2 or 3 characters. And then there's like a side character that's just like,
brings you that.
Runs the world. Yeah. Really grounds it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's them.
No, literally. Oh my God, there was something else I thought of. What else? I just can't. Everything she says.
It was really good.
Ooh. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I don't know. I also just love about the show how each episode, it flows, the story flows really well from episode to episode, but also it doesn't, we're not always in the serious part of the conversation that is actually occurring throughout the whole season. But at the end of each episode, I feel like we tackle that.
Touch into it.
Yes. Yeah. And it really brings you back. It's like, oh yeah, you have but let's actually deal with the here and now. The only thing I wish we got more of, which probably I know it was about Benny's character.
Yeah.
But the Carmen story.
The Carmen. So that's what I was just about to say. I do think it's interesting because the characters are well written. Like they do have a depth to them. But the sister character and Carmen's characters, it's almost like you just kind of get their details. So it kind of builds it for you. While Benny's character is more like outright. Like this is his struggle. Yeah. But at first, I really obviously hated the sister character, and then I was like, "Oh, that's me." Oh, but the thing is hers isn't her story and isn't like said outright, and I think that they're gonna delve into their relationship a lot in season 2, or they should. Because afterwards, I was really like, "Oh my God, that is so me," because it's so true. Like she was like kind of this like weirdo in high school, like that punk. Yeah. My Chemical Romance ass bitch, and then she goes to college and someone sees her in a sexual manner, she changes everything about herself and is like, okay, I'll just get this. This seems easy. I can actually get this. Like it creates like a sense of safety net. Like he's going to get a job. I'll do everything to do this, whatever. Yeah. And I'll feel accepted. I'll feel loved.
Right.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And she's just a bitch and I love her. And also the whole thing with like, she's clearly like, she just isn't the favorite child. This younger son is the holy grail. And then you kind of understand why she has like a resentment for him, but it's just not said outright.
Right.
So Carmen's story, they kind of just leave it at, oh, she didn't really have a lot of friends. Like it was this kind of the same sort of contentious relationship with her brother, but hers died. So it kind of leaves it in that sense of rose-colored glasses for her.
Well, and she's also dealing with grief, and actively dealing with grief. And I love that episode when it's the anniversary of his death, and like Benny is like crashing out.
Yeah,
and she's like literally like I can't, and it's so weird. As I'm gonna get a little dark, but talk about grief real quick. But like really, like you do just keep going somehow, and then. You get pulled and you're like, well, sure, whatever. It distracts me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, she's not super in control of her life. She's like anything for acceptance, anything for a little comfort, anything for a little pleasure. Yeah. And that's super grief. That's super like you're not actively making decisions about your day because you're just genuinely trying to survive the day.
Yes. Yeah. But I also just love that, like, towards the end of the season, she realized, or that episode, she's like, we still honored my brother. We did everything that I would have done with him and whatnot. Because it was that internal struggle of like, how do I honor him and, his memory and yada, yada, yada. And you see other people doing that and you're like, oh, I'm not doing enough. But it's like, who's to say?
Who's saying? Yeah,
girl, this is fucking her up.
It is. Sorry.
But yeah, no, the show just did a really good job of essentially talking about the identity crisis that I think a lot of people go through that we don't ever actually talk about in our community or amongst really our friends.
I mean,
you really got to dig it out of people. You know?
I mean, I have to say, like, maybe if I was like a gay man, I would think that the show is about being gay or in the closet. But I really think the show is about how internalized and front-facing, I don't know, misogyny damages everybody. It clearly has a direct impact on Benny, like queer people who are dying to be actively queer and alive in that. But it also, I mean, what's his name's character? You actively see how his insecurities just like grind him down.
DeMarco.
Yeah. What other? I mean, and the sister character as well. She's like, oh, I found a little acceptance. Let me change everything, and then I'll be perfect. I'll have it all. Yeah.
Her friend.
Yeah. I mean, Carmen too. Like, I think. Carmen's the thing with the slut slayer. I think video game is again. It's I think that's like almost a comment on how those casual sprinkles of violence for women and queer people in general are everywhere, and we're so desensitized to it. Desensitized. Right. Desensitized. Sorry, I'm like hearing myself on the mic, and it's hard to say the word.
I'm not gonna.
That's what it was kind of reading for me, but I'm not a gay man, so like I don't. Maybe it was more, but that was where that was kind of like the major theme
for me as a gay man. I don't know. Like I said, I thought the show was really about that internal struggle of identity for everyone.
Yeah.
I think that is especially what happens during college, and especially coming out of high school. Like I always thought when when I left high school, it's like, oh, I get to become
who you are,
whoever, different personality, blah 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 blah. Try
and then it's
things.
alarmingly like high school.
Yeah. And the gag is, really didn't even know until
yesterday.
Yeah,
24 hours ago.
Maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, like I really think you get to see the struggle of identity through all the characters.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to loop it back to the Holmes, like that's someone who truly knows.
That's like a character who's reached enlightenment.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. Like
they know their flaws. They know exactly what people think about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like but it's kind of funny because she's so outrageous and all the other people are so like
mute or not mute, but like,
and it's because they haven't come into their own.
Yeah.
Come in like full force, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's something not to pivot, but
pivot's fine.
Is essentially kind of like where I am too. Is I saw a TikTok recently and it was like, well, there's multiple layers to this TikTok. It was one, the content that you're making is not necessarily for your friends and family because they're at the end of the day, they're always going to have the idea that they already have in their head about you. So a majority of the time, your family and friends are going to support you regardless. And then the second thing, so obviously like, don't make the content for them, make them from other people. Second thing is, why did I lose the second thing?
So you saw this TikTok and it was like, your content's not for other people, it's for you.
Yes,
and also
overcompensating.
It's for...
Yes, the second thing is, this is to play in with the first one, the preconceived idea that people have of you. And that is something that I've been struggling with just even like our own content, my content is that like, obviously we've talked about this before, the idea of being perceived, but really like, who did I think I was marketing myself as to other people, especially online?
1000%.
Prior to that. And that obviously has changed so much through this whole journey, but I don't know it's just interesting.
Yeah. No, I think it's because I think I get what you're saying. So like when I first started posting or writing or painting, I was kind of like doing the things. I was like, oh, let me get viral. Let me do this. Let me do this. And then I was like, am I having fun?
Yeah.
What I want to talk about this. I want to make jokes. I want to be funny voices. Who fucking cares if it gets 5 views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like my thing too is like, I don't really like dance in public. Like I never like danced online where people can actively see. Yeah. I've always, kind of like put on this persona of like, girl, I'm good. Like my shit, like, fantastic, everything. I'm neat, pristine, proper, very clean cut. That's like always been the word I've associated with myself, like, or how I was. Because especially like when I would get a haircut at the barbershop when I was little, literally I would get a clean cut haircut. And so, like I just really felt stuck in this mold. And when I would like be envious of like other people who like are able to, as a Holmes character, express themselves, like I'd be like, but what does that even look like for me? Yeah. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now in my own journey is like,
how fun you get to discover that.
Yeah. But like, I also feel like there's always going to be like core values, principles, whatever to you. So I don't know, but I don't know. That's just interesting. Like I said, just the way that they're so strong in themselves in the show. Yeah.
Holmes is the only, or the Holmes character. Was it Hannah? What is it?
Haley.
Is the only one who is secure in who they are in the literal whole show.
Yeah.
And it makes them a star. It literally like, when she's like, Charlie would have really fucked with my vibe. Charlie would have. She'd been like, that's a true bitch.
No, literally.
That's a mean girl.
Why the fuck am I here?
So good. You think I want to play boom clap in a college? No cocaine? I like how she plays into that. She's just like, y'all can think whatever you want about me. If I'm just a cokehead or whatever.
The guy is, I don't even think she is a cokehead.
Oh.
I think
she wouldn't be as successful as she was if she was doing coke as much as she's, I think, pretending to be. Yeah.
Do I think she'd do a little bump here?
Of course.
Is she bumping that?
Is she bumping that? Yeah.
She's bumping that.
Yeah. But girls working too much to be just doing cocaine, railing lines every night. There's no way.
And you would like
a coke hangover?
I have no idea. Don't think
you're literally like shitting your brains out, and the headache is so splitting. There's no way she could just be. And that used to be the good stuff back then.
I don't think it would ever. It can't. No, I will
never know.
And I'm good. I'm happy.
And I'm out.
Period.
And I did mine.
As you should be.
I got mine.
Look, a muscle relaxer fucks me up in a 10 milligram. And I've had patients before we take gabapentin, Flexeril, something else, other pain medication. And I'd be like, they'd be awake. I would be in a medically induced coma. That's how bad drugs just mess with me.
No.
I'd have no tolerance. At your birthday party, we had 2 drinks.
Oh my God.
They were strong.
We were hammered. We were literally like laughing at everything. The service was horrendous. My friend who's the manager there was literally wasted. I was like, babe, I get it. It's your place. Do what you want. But you're literally walking around with a bottle of liquor, swishing it, and nobody here has water.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about it. I was like, come on.
I know.
Because if I had water, I don't think I would have been as...
Yeah, just a little water. A little water.
A little... Yeah. I don't know. I'm just lightweight. I can't help it. I just like not for me. Also, I want to keep the skin glowing. Body bright.
The only thing I'll say about overcompensating before we move on.
Okay.
You got to get through the pilot, TBH.
Not even the pilot. You have to get through the first 15 minutes where you do the world building.
It's essentially like a montage where they're trying to set up the story. And you kind of also get, at first I was really like, what the fuck era are we in? Because I can kind of almost tell that he like wrote it for our era of college, which is what he was in, I think. Yeah. But they're trying to also, but it's also like modern language.
Yeah.
So that kind of part fucks me up, but like I'm just one of those that like like continue it. You know what I mean? Like,
but was it also triggering because you know those people?
What do you mean?
You know those parents. Not saying your parents, but like
no, they're not my parents.
No,
yeah,
but like you know those, like so it's like you are getting turned off by like, oh, I just can't.
Yeah.
Because literally I was like, girl, you gotta watch this show. And then she was like, girl, this show is so bad, I can't. And then I was like, no. And then I was like, well, maybe she watched the first episode. Gets to her fucking apartment, didn't even finish the first episode.
Well, no, we literally stopped at minute 15. And I was like, this is... Also, the coloring was so like... I don't know. Like, it looked like the Care Bears set... but like an Amazon commercial. You have to get through the first 15 minutes, to be honest. No tea, no shade. Love the whole show. First 15 minutes are pretty painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you're uncomfortable because the parents or whatever, but.
No, I was just trying to see. I was just trying to clock your tea.
Yeah, but like, those parents are also.
Universal.
Yeah, I was like, that character has been played a million times prior, like. But love Overcompensating, love Holmes, very excited. Get Holmes on Hacks. Oh, wait.
Hacks is probably over after this season. I literally don't see why it would continue going.
Wait, I just realized Holmes is on Hacks.
They probably are. I think they are, actually.
I think they're one of the writers. Oh my God, they are.
Kudos to them.
Okay, yeah, they're just working.
Where are you taking me now?
Where are we going?
Yeah, where are you taking me?
Do you want to talk about the child stars stuff, Mr. Justin?
Does that overlap with overcompensating? I guess. I mean,
Is there any child stars in there?
Well, no.
No.
We just like to, make shit flow here and make it like...
Yeah.
I just want to see.
So
I think
Benny is a good example of like kind of the new age creative where they really kind of use TikTok as like a launching pad. And we're like, no, I'm a star. I have a lot of depth, but I'll make these little videos if you want my IP to go up or whatever. Child stars are the old wave where it was like,
ooh, she's good.
The recruiting from a young age, the discovered, maybe at a mall or something, like that kind of vibe. Like they're homegrown talent within the industry versus I want the industry to help me. Like I'm going to make myself before the industry makes 100%.
Yes, she's good.
Thank you.
She's like really good.
But we hope Justin Bieber is okay.
I think as we're slowly learning with the Diddy trials and whatnot, that there is a lot that went on. But I don't think
Usher and Diddy spent a lot of time together.
Usher and Diddy spent a long time together. Usher was a really big mentor for Justin. Diddy was also a very big mentor for Justin. Freak off or no freak off, all alleged. Something went down. And that, for me, is already apparent within his Yummy music video. Do you remember that music video?
Yeah, the babies or whatever, and the pizza slices when he posted that all over his Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
That era. That's when I knew. I was like, something went on. I think that was like the whole like Pizzagate industry. They drink baby blood, blah, 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 blah. We've seen
him be assaulted on stage before. A woman has assaulted, who was her name? Wasn't it McCartney? Yeah. She literally like forced him to kiss her at like age 16 when he's accepting an award. And that was the height of parasocial fame because that was literally the Biebers, the Disney stars, and the Joe Jonases. Like those were the only stars, like especially around our age. Like everybody else is like older, but the young people of that time, I mean, they were
social media, all that. Yeah.
So it was super like, I mean, that was the time of the fan account. Like,
yes.
I mean, there was so much stuff that like stars used to do for like their fans, and they literally wouldn't have to do anything. Like, I remember there was this one page I followed on Tumblr that was literally like the hotel updates for One Direction.
Oh,
what was I gonna do? Go out there? Go to the hotel?
Yeah, younger stars or stars prior to, I would say TikTok, because I feel like it's
before TikTok. Yeah, TikTok changed everything.
But yeah, prior to that, celebrities, famous people, they really just kind of went through like a weird, no privacy at all. I feel like they're able to establish privacy now.
Yeah.
Also, just resources go up and whatnot, whatever. But back to that man is struggling. I think what we saw on stage with him and SZA was
that hurt to watch, honestly.
Someone that we already know has anxiety about performing, very anxious about being on stage and his safety and whatnot. Doing something, whether he was invited or asked, like, "Hey, like I'll come out to your show or whatever," and sing.
Yeah.
Snooze,
right?
Yeah. I think what we're witnessing right now is someone who, as we were talking before, identity literally does not know who they are.
No.
Because they've always been told who they should be.
Yeah.
And they don't know, like, now he has a role of being a father, being a husband, but also...
He never even got to be a child.
Exactly. Like he never got to like live. And then he had issues with his dad. He went through the whole like church discovery phase. That also
that pastor was taking advantage of him too.
And that went bad. The industry itself is a very slimy place.
I have to say that whole generation of artists has literally, they have been gutted and grinded through the music industry.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I was thinking about even recently, or I was reading earlier today about that Netflix show that's coming out with Liam Payne building the band. And it was something that he filmed prior to his death. And I think I saw AJ McLean was like, oh, I connected with him because of just like similar stories. And I can't remember if he's Backstreet Boys or one of those.
NSYNC?
NSYNC.
Those are the only two.
I think it's Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
But obviously, once again, we know the industry, they love their drugs, they love their money, blah, blah, blah. But like Liam himself, too, also experienced something similar to Justin, as we were saying, like One Direction updates and always being stalked, always being out there to the will of the people.
To some degree, do they want child stars like that to die? Isn't it better for them almost?
Well, yes, because something about like catalogs and them selling and the rights and all that stuff, and you get blah, blah. But like one interview I saw, at least from Liam, is that when they were in One Direction, because of them being so famous and these people, fans being so crazy, they would lock them in their room. They would literally be like, you can't go anywhere, in their hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one, that's solitary. That's just like being stuck with your own thoughts, especially that young. You have no one to talk to, really. You have to be cautious of what you're posting online and yada, yada. It's like,
fame is the devil.
It really is a hard thing. And I don't think people take it seriously enough when they start to see these signs, because even watching older or like clips right before Liam passed, like you can see
I waited on him once. Yeah, he was
going through
on coke. Yeah. And also the people he were with were just like dead-eyed bimbos who were wearing his chain and were ordering a fish dish from Catch that they have. No, they don't even want to eat it.
Yeah.
They're there to be seen at the table, like literally nothing more.
Yeah. And being surrounded by people like that all the time, you don't know who to trust. Of course, you have no idea
who you are.
Or trust.
You're not, you can't trust those people. They don't challenge you. They don't actually support you because they're actively there for their own reasons. And no, I do think, I mean, a lot of them, and the thing is too, is that it really is like a phenomenon because so many of them are down bad. Like the Amanda Bynes, who was incredibly talented. Incredibly talented,
needed help.
Yeah.
I mean, she even, I think, talked about it recently or a couple of years ago when she was on Twitter and all that stuff. Like, she literally was like, that was me asking for help.
Yeah.
And people just
even when she had her like mini comeback, she was on like, I think I saw somewhere too, she was hoping that if she just got a little famous again, maybe she could get the support.
Yeah.
No. They ripped her to shreds.
I mean, Britney too. I mean, that's another one that we.
I think that Raven has really kind of come into their own, and they've like kind of discovered themselves a podcast. But also, they were an incredibly talented actor.
Yeah,
they could have, in hindsight, done more acting or that kind of roles. But God knows what they went through.
I have another, just a comparison. So what happens or what's happening with like the Kiki Palmers, the Selena Gomez's, the Miley Cyruses, Miley had her little bangers era, but like Kiki never had like I busted the window with a golf club, I shaved my head, and she's a child star.
Miley did though, in a way.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, she had a bangers moment.
Yeah.
That's why. But I'm like, okay, Kiki, Selena Gomez, not really, other than her, like...
You know what I have to say? I don't know if they are. Those people, I know Miley is at least, those people do seem kind of sober. Like, I wonder, Miley, I know, is sober, and has actively spoken about how sobriety essentially saved her life. Yeah. And I also think you have to have, at minimum, one person in your corner. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Kiki has like a close relationship with her family or her mom. Yeah. Miley, the same thing. Yeah. Selena.
Her mom.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of somebody else who's like kind of a good example of that, who's like a child star, but like Sabrina Carpenter, like she seems like her, it seems like she has like her sister, and you always see, what's her name? Paloma, like a long time friend. Like, you know, like I think those people, I don't know, you have to have one. And then I do think to some degree, it's a little bit about sobriety. Okay. Because it doesn't seem like Sabrina is much of a party girl, even if she drinks. Yeah. She doesn't seem like, none of those people see like they do crazy drugs or go crazy or, you know what I mean? And I mean, how could you not, like, especially someone like me who is like an addictive personality, like, you're in the fame, you're in the parties, like, it's so easy to get caught up. And if it's every day, and it's also like the fame is a validation in a way, the drugs are a validation, like those things just seem to be all in the same area, all in the same family. Right. So I really think it's those who don't struggle with those kind of addiction personality or issues. Maybe they're in a better place. That's speculation, though, honestly. Right. I only really know that is partially true because, or that any of that is true because I know Miley is sober. And I guarantee if she had really gone off in the deep end of the bangers, she could have easily been an Amanda Bynes. Like, I'm sure she has plenty of shit. I mean, and her dad being like all gross and weird now, like, I'm pretty sure she has shit on shit.
They are friends again, though. I saw that recently. Yeah, they posted a photo together, and I was like, oh.
See, and that's the thing. Those people aren't, they're not perfect. They are put together, but they also, they're not incredibly authentic. Maybe Miley. Selena, like, I'm impressed by her hustle, but I mean, she doesn't really like stand for anything either. She's not like queer. Like, she's like, most of her music has been about her personal love stories. Like, she's clearly on Ozempic now, like, and she's also lying about it. Like,
oh, I don't think so. I think it's just her lupus.
Oh, it's lupus?
Yeah, she has lupus.
We'll cut that.
You didn't know she has lupus?
No.
That's like the whole thing. She has like a whole kidney transplant from
Right. We're going to have to cut that. Is that 42? Okay. Yikes. 42 circled. Something I kind of want to pivot because I have a little bit of a lead too.
I'm just waiting for her to pivot.
Okay, sorry. So kind of how I said earlier, like that industry and capitalism in general, they want you to be dead. Yeah. It would be easier for you to be dead. When you're dead, you're not running your mouth and getting yourself canceled and getting yourself in trouble. And
just like how Diddy killed Michael Jackson. That one was crazy learning about in the trial. That was crazy. Allegedly.
Anyway, but like they've released 3 albums, Mac Miller's estate.
I know. I mean, even Sophie's estate. I know it's different. But.
I get that. It's funny because I love circles from Mac, and I have always been like, oh, it's a good way to honor them and stuff. And now with kind of the Joan Didion diaries coming out, which I'll get into, it's starting to make me think like it actually might just be disrespectful. And unless that there was something in the will or they have spoken to a good friend or a family member, like release my stuff when I die, like it's fine, like get what you can, I guess. But especially with like the Joan Didion, she actively like spoke out against publishers who were like essentially trying to squeeze Ernest Hemingway's like last drop. Mm-hmm. Like they published his diaries or unfinished work or something. And then they did it to her less than 5 years after her death. Mm. Like, unless there is a thing in the will that says publish those, like, I'm going to go that you literally stole the diary of a dead person. Capitalism doesn't literally care if you're alive or dead. If you have any IP, they're going to squeeze it out of your fucking degrading corpse.
Yeah.
And now it's just like kind of made an icky taste for like a lot of that stuff.
I agree. Or at least she explained Joan Didion. Right?
Joan Didion, yeah.
To me a little bit, but I don't know as much. But I will relate it to something that I do know that's very similar. Stan Lee with Marvel Studios. Like there's a documentary coming out, and literally in the documentary, in the trailer, it's like he's doing all these meet and greets at Comic-Con, and he's like literally in a wheelchair. Like this man is dying. Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, like that's it, right? I'm done. And they're like, no, then you have this, and this to go do. And he's like, I'm like, this man is 90. He clearly wants to go and rest and not talk about shit that he's already talked about several times that people can go look up. No. So, and then, now obviously they abuse him with cameos still, or using his IP or his name.
Yeah. I mean, rough. Picasso was homeless. He sold one painting, and those are now worth $2 billion or something. Like, they would literally rather you be dead.
I know. And is it because they just don't appreciate it in the then? Or, like, what is it?
I don't know. It's almost like we're kind of, to me, it's almost like we're obsessed with that, what we can't have, like, in America. Like, that's our whole colonialism shtick.
Yeah.
Is... oh, you have that? I want it.
Right.
Oh, you have that? I want that. Mm-hmm. And when someone's dead, you can't get it.
True.
So to some degree with like artwork and things like that, like specifically paintings, which have to be a physical medium, you can like dangle it like a fucking tree. Mm-hmm. But same thing with like a project, like a unfinished album, you're still selling it. You still are selling that physical, whether a lot of people see it or not. You're making the initial sale, and then the sale continues on. But It's the same thing. Like, I don't know. It's just seeing her, it literally being like the notes to John, which was her man's, and it not even being 5 years. Like, it's not like an anniversary. It's not anything. It's genuinely,
they're not honoring anything.
No, and you know what's too. John Didion kind of got a surge of popularity. Y'all can say I'm wrong on this or not. I don't think I am. Joan Didion was mentioned in a Netflix show. I'm not even going to say which one. Oh. And I guarantee it had a spur of her resurgence in kind of like the new wave, because she wrote primarily in the 60s. Like I think her last work was maybe 2011, but like she's from the 60s era. Like, and so I'm like, it's literally them trying to squeeze her one little drop of relevance. The show You mentioned her. Oh. And that show You, I think I saw it. People have seen You in its entirety. So, and I mean, you can't tell me that one mention didn't skyrocket our way, because that's what happened to Lizzo. Lizzo had her song played in that movie, Something Great, that was viral essentially on Netflix. And
the one where she's like dancing in the room?
Yes, that genuinely was the first time I ever heard of Lizzo. From there on, number one.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. So like, I guarantee that mention and that kind of like resurgence, because she's talked about a lot on like Substack and like kind of like the Lit Girl, whatever platforms and stuff. But I guarantee that like resurgence in her popularity And Book Talk, she was talked on Book Talk some too. They said, we're getting our money. We're getting our money.
And you would do it too for a check, as they say. But that's a wrong check. Yeah,
like the genuinely, you're stripping from a corpse. You're quite literally stripping from a corpse that might not even be fully decayed. You're like, what else did they do? And the thing is, too, is like, it isn't their work. And I hate almost that it even has her name. And it even has like the Mac Miller, the Sophie. I'm like, was it finished? Was it in a completely done, no edits? Mm-hmm. It's filed away. We can release it tomorrow. Like, no. He had 3 full albums that he was like, oh, I'll release this eventually. Mm. No, he either didn't want to or they weren't done.
Or it still needed more. Yeah, they just need.
So I'm like, we're not even listening to their work. We're listening to the estate's work. Like the studio. It's like an AI version of them.
Okay.
Sorry, was I screaming?
No, I hear you. You're heard, sister. You're
no,
heard.
I just meant like, it made me angry. I don't know. I was like, really?
Yeah. I felt rightfully so.
Yeah. But it also made me really think, because Circles is literally one of my favorite albums ever. So it kind of made me be like...
Yeah, you get upset. I think I would feel that way. Beyonce already got her shit set up. So, like, I already know when she did...
Oh, Also, Beyonce and, like, Kanye West, I bet they have actual albums ready for release upon their death. Like, some people...
They're those type of people.
Yeah. Virgo in the chart, they're planning ahead. Yeah. Some artists are going to do that. Like, you can play this when I'm gone. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, some will.
I think that's why she holds on to all her visuals, like the movies. She's like, when I'm dead, y'all can have it.
Y'all can have it. Yeah.
Because it'll mean more. Yeah. It'll mean more.
Of course. Be worth more, the whole shindig.
Yeah.
I have a prediction.
What you got?
Kind of also a segue. I think that they're essentially
going to... To an ending?
Well, speaking of getting buried, I think they're going to try to bury Renee Rapp.
Oh.
I think algorithmically, I think they're going to push stuff to try to cancel her. I don't think they're going to promote the album like they should. I don't think they're going to give her the money they should. I think they're going to do her dirty, maybe try to get her to sell out an arena when she's not ready for that. But they're going to try to bury her.
I'm looking up her record label because that will tell me a lot.
Because my girl said Free Palestine. And she been saying it. Who is it? Say who it is.
They don't fuck her up.
Huh?
I said they are going to fuck her up. It's Interscope.
Oh my God, wait. Who are the other artists they represent?
Selena Gomez, Diddy, Glorilla, Lady Gaga, Gracie Abrams, which they're going to promote Gracie Abrams more than they're going to promote
100%.
Renee. Because 100%. They're both Katy Perry.
Oof, that's bad company. Bad
Madonna,
company.
Summer Walker, Lisa, Jenny, Jisoo, Blackpink in general, whatnot.
They're going to try to bury her. And they're going to promote the fuck out of Gracie Abrams because she's right-wing propaganda. Oh, did I say it? Did I say it? Did I say it?
I love her dad because I'm a...
J.J. Abrams, incredibly talented.
Great director. Wow. Your daughter didn't need to do music. And
no.
Let's bring it back to Renee. Okay. She's talented. She's beautiful. She's smart. You're going to say she's not stupid?
I was about to say she's not stupid.
Oh, yeah. She's smart. She understands what it means to be an artist because literally one of her biggest inspirations is Beyonce.
Yeah.
That girl understands work ethic, breathing technique.
She knows it's a craft.
She gets it.
Yeah.
And she also understands that we're all fucking human and we all...
But she's like, I don't care about being the mean girl villain.
No.
I'm not going to be a size 0. I'm not going to be straight or bi or whatever you guys want me to be. And I acted because I had to, but what I care about is the music.
Yep.
And they are going to bury her because she is quite literally one of the only musical artists right now who is saying free Palestine.
Yeah.
They're going to do her dirty on the algorithm. They're going to do her dirty in a lot. I guarantee you they try to give her like an arena tour and it's like, no, but it doesn't.
I'll buy all the tickets.
I will. I'll fill up every
whole
seat.
Section.
I will gain weight just to fill up more seats.
No, but she truly deserves stardom, and I think
she really does.
She will be able to achieve it to some degree. It just will be very diminished, but
yeah,
kudos to her.
They're just not going to give her the wings to fly.
No, she's going to have to do it on her own. And I don't know what her contract looks like. I don't know how many more albums she has to give till she's independent and does her own thing. But as soon as she is, go ahead and give me. What is her fan group called again? I always forget. The Ex-Wives.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just like, you can't tell me that Benson Boone deserved to be nominated over her for Best New Artist. And that's how I know that they're going to do her dirty throughout her contract with Interscope. They're going to do her dirty. I have more to say about Benson Boone, but do you have something to say? Because your brain said,
I just have shit to say about Benson Boone.
I've got a lot to say about Benson Boone.
But can we do that for another episode?
We might have to, because it really is going to be so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we talked about a lot.
We talked about.
Let's look at the notes.
Girl, we were
all over the notes.
We weren't overcompensating. We were in love. What's I can't think of the other thing. What's like when you're not overcompensating, you're like, I was compensated.
I was compensated fairly for this work.
I really was. That was a great show. Kudos to Benny. Can't wait to see Emmy wins all for the cast. Everyone.
Yeah. Mostly Holmes. Sorry, Holmes, Benny. Yeah. Good work, but
Elisa Nam.
Yeah. You hired a star. It's not your fault.
I know. It's hard. It's hard.
I'm sure you didn't even know that they were going to pop up that hard.
No, I think he did. I mean,
I'm sweating thinking about it.
No, honestly. I really am. Okay. And child stars, please pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
These people did child labor for us.
Yeah. We have to give back to them, and not in a sense of like support of like buying their shit and whatnot or streaming their music. We need to talk about it so that they actually get help, and we're not being like so-and-so dead at 31.
Or 27.
Or, yeah.
And really remember that as annoying as these people can be, all people deserve grace.
Yeah. Alive or dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art.
Thank you for coming to this serum.
As I say, art is living.
Serum.
And so.
Sermon.
Sermon?
Sermon.
Wow. So, yeah.
We're going to do a reset.
Thanks for coming out to hang out with us. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the above at Coming Out Creatives. You can find me individually at Jayvon Sean.
I'm Jordan Mitchie, but for now, I'm trying to drop the Mitchie.
Interesting. So, yeah. I hope y'all have a great day. Stay safe.
Happy Memorial Day to all the queer resistance people out there who are literally resisting this authoritative state by existing. Mwah.
To freedom!